What we're looking at here is the ideal state of an on-device local AI agent. It operates directly on student hardware, creating highly energy-efficient intelligence right at the edge, mechanically isolated from external threats. However, an edge agent cannot operate in a complete vacuum. To be viable in public education, that local intelligence must eventually synchronize its metadata and telemetry with a school district's back-end administrative systems. Standard EdTech architecture syncs this localized data into shared cloud databases, creating an immediate structural risk. In this diagram, you can see the standard approach. Local nodes pool sensitive student telemetry alongside data from dozens of other school districts. The moment those distinct data sources mix in a centralized SaaS environment, the system enters a highly vulnerable state. Without a mathematically sealed back-end pipeline to organize and protect that incoming telemetry, the initial privacy benefits of local edge AI are entirely neutralized by cloud-level contamination risks. Protecting public education data requires completely abandoning these shared database syncing models in favor of absolute segregation. This brings us to Project Silicon Shield and its defining architectural feature, isolated multi-tenancy. Isolated multi-tenancy acts as structural concrete. It is an uncompromisable back-end framework that mathematically prevents the cross-contamination of school data by ensuring every distinct organization occupies its own exclusive environment. Instead of dumping information into a shared pool, this diagram shows how we bypass those risks entirely. A distinct data packet travels from the local edge node, moves through a hermetically sealed pipeline, and locks directly into a heavily armored standalone storage bucket. This continuous, zero-divide isolation from the silicon to the cloud storage layer is the absolute prerequisite for deploying real-time AI in public education. To understand how this works in practice, we have to examine the enterprise bedrock of Eduminium.io, which is built exclusively on the Google Cloud Platform, or GCP. This represents a single fortified cloud capsule on GCP. Every district operates within its own digitally air-gapped sovereign space. The edge node drives metadata into this tenant through the Phase 77 secure pipeline. The data is secured by Firestore infrastructure partitioned strictly by tenant ID. Eduminium never mixes school data. By enforcing this architecture, the tenant ID creates a mathematically sound digital wall around the district's information. Leveraging GCP tenant isolation in this way guarantees zero-leak security. More importantly, it creates a clean, secure foundation that can now safely integrate with the district's legacy enterprise software. Project Silicon Shield functions as the secure, intelligent connective tissue between a school's administrative and academic systems. The first of our 3 core enterprise pillars is the Learning Management System, or LMS, integration layer. The local AI agent interacts natively with assignments and quizzes inside platforms like Canvas, Moodle, and Google Classroom, providing offline translation and academic support directly in the browser. Inside the interface, a mechanism called RoboCop UDR isolates the performance metrics. It strips away personal identifiers, leaving only an anonymized grade. This data is piped directly down the Phase 77 pipeline, locking into the isolated cloud tenant without touching external web architecture. By pairing native LMS integration with the RoboCop UDR extraction method, the system guarantees zero external exposure of student academic performance. Academic grading is only one half of the equation. We now transition from local student performance to macro-level state compliance and administrative record-keeping. This requires our second core enterprise pillar, seamless background synchronization with student information systems, or SIS, like Aeries and PowerSchool. Raw telemetry inside the capsule prepares to move outward. An API gateway activates, applying strict OneRoster API compliance to structure the data. The engine safely maps student attendance patterns directly into the SIS node and aligns English learner progress perfectly into administrative fields. This exact programmatic mapping fulfills the rigorous line-by-line reporting requirements set by the California Department of Education. By enforcing OneRoster API standards, the platform transforms isolated telemetry into actionable, state-compliant administrative records without risking a single point of personally identifiable information. With the compliance record structured, The final requirement is utilizing this intelligence within daily administrative workflows. This is achieved through the third core enterprise pillar, the CRM engine integration. In the LCAP Common Center, structured data streams from SIS and LMS route into a unified dashboard. By cross-referencing academic performance with engagement logs, superintendents track issues like chronic absenteeism. Automated alerts trigger secure notifications to families and instantly autofill complex state funding reports. Integrating the CRM engine completes the fortress. It proves districts achieve fully automated, complex administrative engagement and compliance reporting without ever exposing unencrypted PII. When we evaluate the competitive landscape of AI applications currently being sold to school districts, a stark contrast emerges. Competing AI tools function as disconnected islands. They operate outside a district's core infrastructure. To bridge that gap, administrative staff are forced to manually export data into spreadsheets and port it over to their reporting systems. As this chaotic sequence of cascading file structures illustrates, every manual data transfer and spreadsheet export creates a fatal data leak vulnerability. Eduminium.io approaches the problem as a unified, structurally sound ecosystem, entirely eliminating the need for manual data handling. This complete schematic shows the full life cycle of Project Silicon Shield, from the local edge node through the Phase 77 pipeline directly into the isolated GCP tenant and out into the interlocked LMS, SIS, and CRM nodes. It is a dual-action system. The zero-divide local AI agent handles intense classroom processing natively at the edge, while the multi-tenant backbone secures the resulting telemetry with synchronized data pulses flowing perfectly across the infrastructure. Watching these data streams moving continuously without any cross-contamination proves the platform's high-scale enterprise B2B capabilities, driving continuous API traffic across major legacy enterprise education systems. By maintaining a strictly closed-loop, isolated design, sealing the system from external interference, the entire ecosystem operates in complete compliance with California AB-1584 data protection regulations. Locking every stage of the process, from the browser silicon to the state-mandated reporting fields, ensures district intelligence remains automated, isolated, and secure.